Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth, this is Book Babble, and welcome to my August wrap-up and September TBR. So the first set of books I got at the beginning of the month, and I read them and then I had to return them to the library, and before I returned them to the library I made a separate video so that I didn't have to show you pictures, and I will link that video here. The first book that I read this month was Pretty Little Liars by Sarah Shepard, and that is the first book in the Pretty Little Liars series. I started reading this series because I love the TV show. I didn't like the first book as much as I hoped I would, but it was a very good book and I will continue on with the series. It might take me a while because from what I understand there's a bunch of books, but I did like it enough to continue with the series, but it wasn't that great. The next book that I read this month is Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I did do a review for this book, and I will put the link in the description, or here, or both. Who knows? I did enjoy this book. If you want the full review for it, just click the link. The next book that I read in August was The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and I loved this book. It was absolutely phenomenal. It is about a girl who is in an arranged marriage. She's a princess and she's being arranged married to the prince of a neighboring kingdom, and the story is from her perspective, the prince's perspective, and an assassin's perspective who is sent to kill the princess because she runs away on the day of her wedding. And it is just so good. I love it. So after The Kiss of Deception, I read The Warrior Heir by Cinda Williams Chima, and I will be doing a review for this book in the next couple of days, so I won't talk a lot about it. I do want to say that I loved this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a little slow in the beginning, but once it got going and I understood more about the world, I really enjoyed it. The next book that I read was Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea by April Genevieve Tekolk. I did not like the insta-love factor between Violet and River, although throughout the book Violet kind of has a inner battle between herself on whether she does or does not love River. So I didn't like the insta-love, but everything else I really enjoyed about this book. The characters were funny and dynamic, and the storyline was exciting, and it kept me wanting to read every single page. I was never bored in this book, and I really liked that about it. Beth June 327 recommended this book, and she enjoyed it, so I decided to give it a try. It is a horror novel. I was not really scared, but it was a little suspenseful and shocking, and I wasn't really knowing what to expect or what was around the next corner, but I really enjoyed this book. I am currently reading The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is the Booksplosion book of the month. I'm about that much through it, so not very much. I am playing catch up. I really want to participate in the live show, which is this Sunday, the 30th or the 31st. I can't remember. I think it's the 31st. I don't know, and I think it's Katie Tastic is going to be hosting that live show. I'm not sure. I will link all of the information down in the description in the doobly-doo. But so yeah, I'm trying to play catch up and read this book before the live show in a couple of days. Hopefully I will get it finished. If not, then I will just finish it in September and watch the recording of the live show at a later date. But I really want to participate in my very first BookTube live show, so I'm going to try to read this book as quickly as possible. Okay, so as you guys saw, I had a huge library haul this month, so the majority of the books that I'm going to be reading in September are going to be library books, so I can hurry up and read them and turn them in so I don't have to renew them a lot and so I won't be late. But the very first book I'm going to read is the sequel to Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea, and that is Between the Spark and the Burn, and this is by April Genevieve Tekolk. The one before it had the sea and the cliff, and this one's got a mountain on it, so I'm not really sure what to expect. I know that it is a sequel novel and not a companion novel, so we'll see. Then I will probably read The Demon King by Cinda Williams Chima, I'm not sure how to say that. And I really enjoyed The Warrior Heir. I will be renting the sequels to The Warrior Heir at some point in the future, but I have this one, and I really love Cinda Williams Chima's writing, and her fantasy novels, her stories are just amazing, so I'm going to be reading this one next. I will then most likely read Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. They have made her book series into a television series, and I started watching that. The fourth episode of the first series of the first season is tomorrow, and so it's brand new. It just started. You could probably still get into it if you can find the episodes on demand or something like that. But the series is really good, and I've heard a lot of awesome things about the book series, so I went ahead and got that from the library as well. Next, I will read Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I wasn't sure about getting this book because it is sci-fi, and sci-fi is definitely not my favorite genre, but I've heard a lot of really good things about the entire series of this, and the fourth book is coming out sometime next year, so I figured that I would jump on the bandwagon and catch up and see what all the hype is about, because a lot of people really enjoy this series. Then I'm going to read The Assassin's Curse by Cassandra Rose Clark. I don't know anything about this book whatsoever, just that a lot of people have recommended it and a lot of people really like it, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. Then I'm going to read Divergent by Veronica Roth. Of course, everybody has read this series but me, so there's really no explanation. I know a lot of people really hated the third book, but I wanted to decide for myself, so I'm going to start with the first one and read the whole series sometime between now and October. Then I will read The False Prince by Jennifer A. Nielsen. This book has a 4.20 rating on Goodreads. I have not heard a lot of booktubers talking about it. I know it is a fantasy novel. Of course, fantasy is my favorite genre, so I'm pretty excited about reading this. So yeah. So that is my September TBR. If I want to be a little bit more optimistic about the books that I am going to read, if I get done with all of those by the end of September, I am also going to read Sea of Shadows, Beautiful Creatures, and Teardrop. Sea of Shadows is by Kelly Armstrong. Beautiful Creatures is by Cami Garcia. And Teardrop is by Lauren Kate. So, hopefully I can get to all of those books, plus the 3 other ones that I'm hoping to read. And, yeah, so thank you guys so much for coming to my very first wrap-up and TBR video. If you like the videos and you want to see more, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe and comment and let me know if you like them or not. And comment and let me know if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them, and link to your videos, wrap up and TBR, so I can see what you've read and are planning to read. I want to see all of those things. So, okay, yeah, guys, see you next time. Bye!